For the first time, the average cost of a new car in the US has topped $50,000. That is in part down to tariffs, with experts warning of an even bigger hit on prices next year. Matt Egan is here to explain what we're seeing and how tariffs may drive up international prices too. Joining us from New York, I would not want to be in the market for a new car today. Matt, how much are tariffs to blame for this price hike then?
Yeah, Christina, look, if you are in the market for a new car, you do have to mentally prepare yourself for some sticker shock because, yes, prices are high. They've never been higher. And you're right, tariffs are one of the factors here. Now, Kelley Blue Book found that the average transaction price in September in the United States topped $50,000 for the first time ever.
I feel like that's a choice, though. The average transaction price does not have to be that high. You don't have to buy a new car, number one. And number two, you don't have to spend $50,000 on it at all. You know why people continue to have higher transaction prices for new cars? Because the financing of it lasts longer. When I was coming up in the 90s and when I graduated high school in the 2000s, I did not buy a new car. I bought a used car, right? I bought the 86 Buick Regal and I worked on that mug and I loved it like it was my own until I wound up giving it to a friend, right? Then I bought a new car or whatever. But I remember back then, financing was maximum 60 months. It wasn't no 72, 84, 96 months financing. Man, I heard that it was dudes in Miami. You know how these guys be riding these Uruses and these Lamborghinis and stuff like that and these Ferraris and stuff. And you know how you be trying to wonder, like, how was they able to afford this? This young dude, he keep acting like he do crypto. He got a regular job or he got 2 part-time jobs. He a server on one job and then he hustling on somewhere else. He doing some overnight stocking and they got 5 roommates. It's 7 of them in a room and it's 5 roommates. They got an 84-month, 96-month financing at 12% interest for 2 or 3 different exotic cars, and they all splitting the cost between all of them. They all live together. Listen, I'm telling you the hack. How a lot of these people that are, it seem like they get money, it seem like they successful, they split in car notes, bro. It's the craziest thing that I had ever heard of in my entire life. They living together. They all living together in the same house. They take 3 cars. You may have your own little regular car that you get back and forth to work to. I got it on Saturday night this week. You got it on Sunday night this week. You got it on Monday night this week. You got it on Tuesday night this week, Wednesday and Thursday. And then we going to roll the dice. It's a rotating clock for who get it on Saturday. And then we going to reset for the next week. And people are literally they living together and then they leasing cars and they buying cars. They not buying them. They leasing cars together and each one of them get a different day that they get to use that car. And it seemed like they all continue to want to switch up cars. Like, oh man, I got the Urus, I got the Ferrari, I got the Stradale, I got all of these cars or whatever like that. I got the McLaren 720S. They got 3 cars that they split and then you got your own personal car or you catching public transportation to work. It's the truth. It's the truth. It's the honest to God truth. They all finessing and they all live together and they rooming together. And they all got regular jobs, but they all leveraging the cars and the visibility in order to try to build their visibility on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. Yep. And so they using it to try to make it, they using it to get hoes and they using it to get visibility. And they all try to not intersect on their segments so that it's not exposing them for actually renting cars together. That's the truth. And they up to their eyeballs in debt. up to their eyeballs in debt, bro.
Now, prices were up by about 4% from the same month last year. Now, 4%, that's not a monster spike like the increases that we saw after COVID during the supply chain crisis, but this is the biggest year-over-year increase in 2.5 years.
I've seen people with 8-year
I would just
loans.
note that this is the average transaction price, so this is before incentives kick in, but still, $50,000 is obviously a lot of money, and that's just the average, right? If you're looking at a full-size car, it's almost $60,000. A full-size
No
pickup,
way.
$66,000.
No way.
And a full-size SUV now averaging $76,000. So why is this happening? Well, yes, Kelley Blue Book says that tariffs are one of the factors that's driving up the cost to build a car. And it's not
a
just
full-size
the
car
auto
for
tariffs and the
$60,000.
auto
Get the hell out of
parts
here.
Tariffs. It's also the country-specific tariffs, and then the tariffs on steel, aluminum, copper, and other critical inputs. Now, another factor here is electric vehicles. The federal tax credit in the United States went away at the end of September. So a lot of people were trying to beat the clock and buy an EV before those tax credits went away. And Kelley Blue Book found that the EV share of the auto market in the United States hit an all-time high of almost 12% in September. But maybe the biggest factor here is who is buying cars and what cars are available right now. Because those $20,000 affordable cars, they've kind of gone extinct. Car makers, they're focused on the higher margin, more expensive cars and trucks. And right now, a lot of the cost-conscious consumers, they've been priced out of the market, right? They're either not buying or they're focused on used cars. And who is buying? It's the more affluent buyers who are not surprisingly buying the more expensive cars. And so that has lifted the average price of a car. But Christina, this is just another reminder.
People care more about the car payment than they care about the car terms, the terms of the loan, right? So if they can stretch you out and get you into a longer term deal, and this is how the dealers sell you, right? Oh man, you know what? Just get the longer term deal and your payment is only going to be this month. Okay, well, how long is it going to be? 72 months, 84 months. Well, I don't want to stay in it that long. Well, don't worry about that right now, right? Because listen, just keep it for 3 or 4 years. When you turn it in, because by that time, all of the depreciation will be out of it and you'll start going into the principal. And then when you turn it in, we'll put you into something new and then you'll be able to keep rolling because you won't have to carry that much over into the new payment. And by that time, you'll be making more money. You'll be ready to upgrade. So it's a lot of people that got 72, 84 months sold on the idea that your car note is only going to be this amount. Now you got the name, you got the Mercedes, you got the badge, you got all of that stuff. And you don't even realize that you basically just financed your way into a deal where now they're able to upsell you, right? You're going to get the warranty. You're going to get all of the features that you don't need. You're going to get all of this stuff and you ain't even writing your stuff off. You don't even get to write your stuff off because your vehicle ain't above a certain amount of pounds or you didn't lease it. So your write-offs are limited because you didn't look at it from a business perspective. And so now they're able to raise the average price on a transaction because most people are more concerned about the payment. They're not looking at the interest rate. They're not looking at how long the terms is. If you actually looked at your payment and you looked at the payment every single month and you looked at the breakdown, you'll realize what? What will you realize? That the majority of your money is going to the interest and it's not going to the principal.
Of the K-shaped economy in the United States and in many parts around the world where people who have money in the market, who own their homes, they're doing pretty well. But lower income families, they're struggling. And
they're absolutely going to be 40-year mortgages. There will absolutely be a longer term mortgage. There's only a matter of time before you go from a 30-year mortgage to a 35 or a 40-year mortgage. 100%. I believe that is probably going to come within the next 2 to 3 years. You are going to see companies offer a 35 to 40-year mortgage guaranteed. I will bet the house on it. 30-year mortgages is going to be it's going to still be the norm, but because all that creative financing, ARM, interest only right now, and then you got a balloon payment and all of that shit. All of that is how we got into that mess in 2008 in the first place. They already got 40-year mortgages? No way. No way.
Yeah, 50,000 is certainly not an achievable target, is it? Matt, we are also seeing some wider market volatility. There were some wild swings on Wednesday. I mean, how much is tension with China to do with
All right, that's pretty much it.